you. Unfortunately, we were a little bit slow in realizing what was going on. Well, no, that's not actually true. It's quite thick. Come over here. We're just going to give you a quick view of what we found. Very exciting news. Rexon displayed exceptional skills, but there's a kill on the ground there. And as we suspected, Shadow has collected her baby. She's made a kill here. I'm not going to get any closer to it than we are now. She's charging. There she is. Come over here. She's not charging, she's just growling. Okay, there's the baby. Is that the mother or the baby? That's the mother. So she gave a big growl there. We didn't think she was here. We thought something had moved off, and it's quite possible the baby's moved off. Okay, let's move a little bit away. Let's give her some space. Come over here. Let's just give her some space. She's not around. She's a little bit nervous, and she's also got a kill. Let's just move away. We'll come and stand on the road here, and then we'll call Noel in. Going. Rexon, you said you wanted to find a leopard on a kill today, and you have done so. Yeah. Let's just go over here. We're a nice distance away now. And let's just see if we can't spot her again. Do you want to call Noel, Rex? So that, it's the tree there. It's the one you can see lying down. The kill's in front of that tree there. Alright, let's just have a little bit of a recap. So we found the tracks going down towards Treehouse Dam. Then they turned around and came back again. Both tracks. Now when that happens, you can be fairly certain that the mother has made a kill and she's heading straight towards it. And they do head straight. It's one of the easier times to track a leopard. It's not easy, but it's easier because they walk in a dead straight line. We then came up here, lost the tracks every now and again. Rexon found them again. And as we found them again for the fourth time or so, he spotted the kill. She had obviously heard us coming. She'd got into that thick bush where we eventually saw her. I think there were a lot of alarm-calling birds down towards the drainage line. And I think what happened was that the youngster probably moved off before she did. And she just crouched there. And she just waited. And then, because we moved around to show you the kill, she reacted, she growled, and jumped over the bush, and then waited for a while, where we got that beautiful picture of her. And then she slunk off into the thick bush. She's not going to go anywhere from there. All right, we're going to sit here for another 10 minutes and see if we can't get a view. If we can't, then we'll bring Noel in here. I mean, we'll bring her in here anyway. But in the meantime, let's go back across to the Masai Mara with Scott and his cheetah. We've got a hyena, and it's heading towards Shadow's kill. We've left the kill site because she didn't come out of the thicket where she was. There is a vehicle in there now, but I think this hyena has smelt something. And as we know, Shadow, a very poor hoister of kills. And it's running the other way now. It's gone the wrong way in the wind. That's good. I'm not sad about that. We don't want the hyena anywhere near Shadow and cub. The wind's blowing from there to there, and that means that as the hyena came around here, it would have lost the scent. So probably, in fact, it had very slight scent of the blood, and possibly very difficult to pick up the direction of the wind blowing like it was. Let's follow the hyena. I'll show you where the vehicle is. We did not get another view of the leopard. She went down into a little thicket and stayed there. But I'll show you how close we are. There's the vehicle. And I don't think they can see her even. I think they're looking down into a thicket. So we got the best view, and then the hyena. You got it again, Rex. Let's go to the termite mound over here. You can hear the birds' alarm calling. Richie, you want to know on a bushwalk how far we're supposed to be from the animals? Well, I mean, ideally, like I said with the elephants earlier this morning, you want to be able to view them without them being affected by your presence. Now, clearly that's not what happened with Shadow. We disturbed her on the kill. She heard us before we got there. She moved off. And then when we waited around the kill, she growled, revealed herself because she thought we were a bit close. And we were probably about 12 meters or so from her when she moved. Then we got a view and we moved off. So from if you're tracking a cat, that's often what happens. You can stand on them before you realize that you found them. That's too close. Ideally, there's no way of saying, X number of meters is how close you want to be. It's as close as you can be without affecting the animal's behavior. So if she hadn't moved off the kill, we'd have backed off until we could still see her and she was prepared to carry on feeding. It's very unusual that happens with a cat, though, unless it's a lion. And you can, watch them from some distance. But even then, they'll look at you. They'll always keep watching. Leopard. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just trying to figure out what Rex is saying here. Did you see her? Crow. Oh, there was a crow trying to get at the kill. Nasty crow. So I'm sure that she'll definitely return to the kill and feed on it. And she'll be absolutely fine. I'm just going to have a look from here. At this distance, she wouldn't react to us at all. Let's just get onto this termite mound here. What a very exciting morning we have had. Elephants and leopards. And of course you've had cheetahs and lions. And we will try and get Noel down here before the end of the drive. We've still got quite a long time. Oops. I'm not sure if you saw me leap there, but a quail jumped out of the grass. And it just shows that my senses are obviously quite on edge after that growl from Shadow. Yeah, I don't see a hyena, and nor do I see the leopard. But that's good, the hyena has gone off. Dos Santos, you want to know how strong a hyena's ears and nose are. I always forget the numbers exactly, but I think that their sense of smell, I seem to remember a figure of something like 48 times what ours is. So it's 48 times stronger than our sense of smell. I imagine their ears are probably, we've got pretty sensitive ears. I'd say their ears are probably 2 or 3 times more sensitive than our ears are. But the sense of smell is truly phenomenal. And we think possibly the most powerful of just about certainly any land mammal. Marvellous. Okay, let's go back across to East Africa now. I got something that sounded like Scott has got something with lots of ears. And as far as I'm aware, most things only have 2 ears.
All right, so we have Shadow, who Rexon and James found for us. I just want to be quiet just for a moment because she's calling the cub. Can we hear that? Right. I'm not sure if any of you could hear that, but maybe we can see when she's moving her mouth. She's doing, look, a lion goes, ooh, ooh. But this is a more guttural sound. The impala have heard her. The impala are alarm calling and are busy figuring out that this leopard is here. Just before we got back, you got back to us, she covered up around where the kill is to keep the scent of what I'm assuming is an impala, the dead impala, from permeating, so that she can now rest comfortably. I actually thought for a while she was going to go off and fetch her cub, but if she's calling from here, there's a chance that the cub is close by. And now that I'm hearing those impala go more and more, I have a feeling that maybe rather than it being because of Shadow, it is probably because of her youngster. So we're going to hang tight here and see what happens. Can we hear the impala in the background? Not quite sure if you guys are picking that up or not. From my experience, if the cub was a little bit farther away from here, that contact call that she was making, she would make it and keep walking. But she's made it several times and now she's lying down. She could also just be tired from making her kill. The impala are still going in the background. You can see she's breathing quite heavily. She's obviously tired from the stalk, the hunt, the kill, a little bit of eating, and then pushing up all of the debris around the impala itself. So from the angle where we're sitting, the kill is a little bit difficult to see. I'm actually thinking what we might do is just reverse and come around. She's also facing the other way. Will also give us a chance just to scope around and see if her little one is on the way. So I think let's do that so long. Proud Cat Mama, you're asking if Shadow will hoist a kill to protect it. Proud Cat Mama, on a day like today, and she's cached it under a bush, I think she's going to leave it under that bush for now. I think if anything comes to disturb her, say another leopard or a hyena, she'll put it up and hoist it in a tree then. But for now, I think she's pretty comfortable and pretty happy where she is. But it's all variable. It just depends on what works for her best. I know that James had a hyena sort of on its way in this general direction, but I'm not seeing it now. I know she's got a little bit of a stick in the way of her face, but we'll be able to see her, and then there you can see the kill on the left-hand side. So she's actually eaten a bit more than I had thought. So it looks like she's killed much earlier today than I had originally thought, eaten quite a bit, and then she's probably just satiated herself, and now she's decided she wants to call her youngster in to give her youngster a chance to eat some food as well. So viewers, this is my first time seeing Shadow. When I was shadowing with Tristan, we were tracking her quite a bit, but the morning that you all got to see her with her youngster in the tree on a kill, I was not out and about. I was busy learning the ropes of FC. So the other day was my first time seeing her youngster, and today is my very first time seen her. She's beautiful. She's a little female. She's absolutely stunning. And she's tired. It's interesting. If her youngster was much younger than what she is now, she would have gone sort of directly to fetch her. Because the youngster is 10 months old and it's starting to reach that point where she's getting bigger and can start learning to do things on her own. Not completely yet, but it's getting to that point. Shadow's not necessarily as apt to want to immediately go and get her youngster. Not that she doesn't care about her, but yeah. She's also going to get ready for, in the next, Shadow's youngster's 11 months old, I think we decided the other day, 10, 11 months old. So in the next half a year to a year, she's going to start going to Shadow's going to start going to estrus again and start mating again and be pregnant again with her new litter. Sorry, Curse, what was the question from Judy? Just one more time for me, please. Judy, you're asking, would the cub ignore the mum calling for a long time? It's a really interesting question. Everything's individually based on personality. But look, when mum's calling, the cub's going to know, the youngster's going to know that she has something for her in general. So I don't think that Shadow's youngster is ignoring. I do think that possibly she's a little bit farther off than where the call can be heard. That would be my guess. The impala have died down, so my second thought on the youngster maybe making its way here, and that's what the impala were calling about, was off. My first assumption was correct, where it had more to do with Shadow herself. I do know, Judy, that especially when they're a little bit younger than the 10 months, although the 10 months can still be a time that's a little bit trepidatious for them. If the mum leaves the little one somewhere and the little one gets curious and moves around too much, sometimes when the mum comes back and the little one's moved too far, the mum can't find it, and that happens sometimes. But it happens more usually with cubs that are slightly younger than the one we're dealing with now. She's got a very full belly. Alrighty, so James is still tripping about on his own 2 feet. So while we sit here and wait for either Shadow to start eating again, or maybe the youngster to come up, or maybe for her to go and fetch the youngster, we will link over to James and see what he has. Interaction with cheetah and lion, although it ended abruptly and without, thank goodness, injury to either, but maybe not thank goodness, as an interaction between 2 predator species is incredible. So on to our third big cat. We have Shadow still. She's sleepy. She's super full. She every now and then lifts her head. Every now and then opens an eye. Every now and then smells the wind. But she's definitely found her spot for the day. No sign of the youngster. I do think she's going to take her time and rest and then possibly go and fetch. She was calling earlier. The youngster's a little bit too far away to hear her. But that's okay. It is normal for a leopard or a lion to leave their youngsters for 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 days at a time. Although 5 days is pushing it a bit. And remember that Shadow's youngster is old enough to catch things like baby mice on her own and things like that. So she is not going to be starving by any means. And every mum needs a break, and every mum needs to sometimes just have a meal on their own. That is for sure. So we've had quite the morning. Our wild dog tracks didn't come out. We couldn't find where they came out. We're so lucky that James ended up finding Shadow, so we get to spend our last little bit of time with her. We will most likely come back here this afternoon and Scott is out in the Mara and Taylor is out in the Mara, so I'm hoping we get some good cat action. I think this evening let's try and do as much cat activity as we possibly can. Of course, Murphy is a little bit evil, and you never know what he has in store for us, but she should still be here as long as no one steals her kill. And so for us, we'll be coming back this side. Thank you so much from myself, Jandre, Scott, Taylor, James, the film crews, FC. You must have an incredible